everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about content pillars and what they can do for your business and your marketing strategy. So content pillars, that's kind of a buzzword in the marketing industry, social media industry, but it's kind of hard for business owners to define what the hell are content pillars. So the way that I like to describe it is, you might have heard these terms before: content buckets, content categories. Again, I just go with content pillars. It is a way of thinking of the content that you want to produce for your business and putting them into a specific category. Now, some experts recommend 3 content pillars, some recommend 5, some recommend up to 7. For me and for my clients and what I preach here for you guys, I always recommend 5 content pillars, and we'll dive into why. But what content pillars are, it's a way of creating a system for the content that you're creating in your business so that you can easily and quickly create content that will attract your ideal customer, reach your target audience, and make sure that it's working harder for you and you're not just producing content for content's sake. So to kind of explain this a little bit more in depth, I'm going to give you some examples of what my content pillars are. So number 1, I have content tips. Number 2, social media tips. Number 3, business tips. Number 4, personal, so like anecdotes and personal stories. And then number 5, a promotional content pillar. So now when I go to create content, I can start with those different buckets, different categories of, okay, I want to create something in my business tips content pillar because I haven't done that in a while. Now I know that, okay, the content that I have to create and produce has to fit into that category. And if it doesn't, why the hell am I creating it? Why am I posting it? Now, we'll get into this in just a little bit, but this will help me stay away from, while yes, there's some, let's say I find a really cute new sweater. I'm not gonna go post that on my business, maybe on Instagram stories, but it doesn't fit within my 5 content pillars. So it's not going to attract my ideal customer. It doesn't fit in my business model. And, it would just kind of be a waste of time. So that's how I want you to approach what content pillars are. So I know I just touched on this. Obviously, the majority of the content that you are going to produce will fit within those. Again, I'm just going to go with 5 content pillars because that's what I like to teach. But you want to make sure that the majority of your content fits in those 5. And the way that I like to do this for myself and for my clients is aligning a content pillar with each day of the week. Okay, yes, I know there's 7 days in the week, but I actually only post content Monday through Friday for both myself and for my clients. Again, we need to have a little break ourselves, and I like to have my weekends. So what I like to do is align a content pillar per week, and there's psychology and strategy behind I do this for each client, but I'll walk you through. Again, I'm going to give you my examples, my tips, and my tricks. So on Mondays, I like to post my content tips. Mondays tend to be, my audience, they are business owners or career people. So what's going to happen is on Monday, they're getting back into the swing of things. They're getting back into work. They're not going to want to be sold to. They don't want anything too high level. Maybe like a fun tutorial on how to do something in Canva, showing them a little bit of content strategy that they can put into place for the week. So keep it light and easy on Mondays with that. Now on Tuesdays, I start to dive into business tips. Again, I'm gonna start getting into a little bit more in-depth processes, maybe showing off some software that I use, talking about how to price your social media services, things that are going to be a little bit more intense, because on Tuesdays, it tends to be a very productive day for people now that they're kind of out of that Monday groove. Again, my clients, that's who I'm talking to. If you're in a different industry, like let's say the wedding industry, your content pillars are gonna look a little different than mine, obviously, and you're gonna wanna line them for different days of the week because, most wedding industry professionals work on the weekend. So again, there's so much psychology that goes into this, but I'm gonna continue on with breaking down my content pillars for you. On Wednesdays are the days that I actually go and promote my business. So I will talk about new products that I have, share testimonials, create a fun meme to drive sales, anything like that. Because again, for my business and my industry, people are most likely to buy on a Wednesday. They're kind of in that mid-range hump of the week. You know, they don't want to buy early week and they don't really want to buy on Thursday or Friday because they're gearing up for the weekend. So Wednesdays are such a good time for me to promote my business. On Thursdays, I like to give my social media tips because again, a lot of people in my industry, if they are preparing social media for the following week, this is a good day to go ahead and give them some social media tips, you know, on Thursday or Friday, because they're working on stuff for the next week. So again, just giving some more tips and tricks. And then on Fridays, personal and intro posts. This is where I like to keep it lighthearted or tell an anecdote about myself because again, we have to think my ideal customer, they're going into their weekend. They're not gonna wanna be sold to, they're not gonna wanna learn something, but they would like to have a little emotion pulled before the weekend. So I always tell either a story they can relate to, talk about my life, give them some, you know, let them know who I am as a person. And now I'm currently working on a strategy to make sure all of those content pillars align throughout my entire business, but that's the approach I take for all of my social media platforms, is making sure to align that content pillar to each day of the week. And obviously this just makes it really easy for you to understand what content you need to be posting on one day. You're not, you know, at the end of the day, you're like, crap, I don't have anything to post on Instagram. You know exactly what you're gonna be posting next Thursday because this is a foundation that's laid out for you. And I'll have some more videos coming out very soon on how to achieve this kind of system, but we gotta start with the basics. And the last thing that I wanna leave you with here, obviously coming up with content pillars is kind of tough for your business, but go take a look at the content that you are already producing. So let's say you're a hairdresser and you post a lot of tutorials as reels, you know, showing people how to do updos. And then the next week you show a client transformation of, you know, maybe she had dark black hair and you showed the transformation of her going to blonde the correct way. Or you're doing education or posting about when you're available. Those are all different content pillars. So just thinking of ways to categorize content that you're either A, already posting, or B, that you want to post. But the one thing that I want to make sure, especially if you're a business owner or content creator and you're listening to this, you do need to have, I recommend this for every one of my clients, at least one content pillar, and this is across the board, that is promotional. I know I already kind of touched on mine, but every business owner, what I see often is that they're producing all this amazing content, and then when they go to pitch their services or their product, they just say, my product is new, or they say, hey, I have 30% off my products right now, and then nobody buys. It's because there is this psychology component that, again, experts argue the number, but what I've noticed is your customer or a client has to see what you do and who you are at least 7 times before they make a purchase. So if you're only posting about your sales once a month, or you're only talking about your services and your testimonials to your clients once a month, it's gonna take them 7 months before they buy from you if you're only posting about it once a month. So what I always like to recommend is you have to have some kind of promotional content pillar. And this always makes people feel a little icky because you're like, I don't want to sell. But here's the thing, you don't always have to go and say, my products are on sale, I have a new service, I have an X, Y, and Z. You can make this fun. And again, I'll have some more content coming out about this here soon. You can create memes, you can share testimonials, video reviews from your clients. There's so many different ways that you can talk about your services and pitch your business or your products or whatever it is. You have to make sure that you are doing it consistently. All right, you guys, so that is a very brief synopsis on what content pillars are. Stay tuned for next week where I'm gonna actually dive into how to batch your content that will take this to the next level. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next week.